Hi everyone, this is your girl Nikita, and welcome to the Perfectly Powerful You podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Perfectly Powerful You podcast. I'm your host, Nikita, and I trust, hope, and expect that you all are having a super stupendous, magnificent, tremendous, and we'll go back to magnificent again day. I am having a wonderful day. I just got off of work. Wow, I just came back from the bakery, and just all day today I've just been reminiscing over the journey of life in general, and goals and dreams, and just honestly having fun along the way. So last weekend, I had a very amazing opportunity to go and just hang out with my friends, go to a place I've never been before, didn't even know it was going to be part of my journey, and yet there it was presented to me. And the most amazing thing about this place is that it had a beautiful little waterfall. I'd love to tell you a little bit more about just my experience in general and some of the ways that I tied it into honestly just life in general and having fun on this journey that we do call life. Because a lot of times the stuff that I love to talk about on this podcast are everything to do with just how we can forward our dreams, how we can really be the co-creators of our dreams, of our life, to live life our most authentically, our most genuine, and to wake up every day and genuinely feel that we love our life. I think that everyone is deserving of it. I think that everyone is capable of having it. And it is also just to do with checking back in with ourselves and being mindful about the thoughts we're thinking, the action steps we're taking, and what we really want to see in this life. And so part of the journey of being in this particular place, it is just on the side of the road. You would miss it if you didn't know it was there. So I was really genuinely so thankful for my friends for taking me there. There's a beautiful little waterfall. There's a bunch of places to jump into this little kind of river, and all around it, it's surrounded by beautiful, lush, dense trees, worn away rocks from all the water that has just pelted it over the years, and tiny little areas that you can bask in the sun. And it is just the most beautiful place to be. So the couple friends that I was with, one of them in particular was super excited to just jump off into the water almost immediately. They saw the water and they wanted nothing more to do than to rip off their clothes and just deep dive well, not head first, but jump like cannonball into the water. And me, my longing and discontent was, oh, I want to do that. And part of me was also afraid because, like, oh, the water's going to be cold. I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to enjoy it. But there's a part of me that really honored the discontent of, man, like, he looks like he's having a really great time. I want to enjoy that too. I want to be a part of the action. And so, like, here's me in my bathing suit, just like jumping off and into the water, and it was cold. But the thing is, I got used to it in the end. And the part of me wanted to do it again. I wanted to climb up, and I actually wanted to go higher. Because there were different levels to jump off these like little cliffs into the water. And I wanted to go higher with him. So as he was climbing higher up on the ledges and jumping in, I was climbing up after him and jumping in. And we had one friend who was also with us who was super content to not jump in the water, which is amazing. It is just, she was basking, she was enjoying herself. She was just enjoying the sunshine beating down on her. She's like, I don't need to be in the water. I'm just happy living my life outside the water. And maybe eventually, if I feel like it, I'll jump in the water. And if I don't, then that's fine too, because the sun is warm. I'm luxuriating in the fact that I'm here anyways, and dry and happy as a clam. And we were like, no problem. This is amazing. So here we are, just swimming around, jumping off the cliffs into the water, going higher and higher and higher every single time. And there was this one cliff that was higher than all of the others. And both of us looked at it, looked at each other, and we were like, let's go ahead and do this. So we had to climb up and out and like into the forest a little bit, through the bush, through like all these like brambles that kept trying to snag on us, in order to get to the ledge. And again, this is higher than we'd ever been before. But we've been jumping off of the cliffs the entire time. Like the actual part of jumping wasn't a problem. We knew that we could jump because we've been jumping the entire time. And we knew the water was deep enough because we knew that other people have jumped this place before and landed safely in the water, and everyone was great. And so when I stepped up to the ledge, there was a part of me that had so much fear in like, will I be okay? What if I hit a rock? What if I just like don't leap off far enough and I hit myself or whatever? Like, what if? And there's another part of me that said, this is so exciting. This is like, I've never been this high before. I've never jumped off something this large before. And like, here I am, I'm about to do it. And then there was a fear that came back in that I was like, oh God, I was like, and again, like the same kind of like images and thoughts came up that was about to stop me from doing it. And my friend was saying, I'll only jump if you jump, but I'm gonna watch you jump first just to make sure it's safe. And I was like, thanks, no, like I'll do it, no problem. I'll take one for the team. And there's a part of me that's getting ready. I was just like kind of like leaning into it and then kind of backing away and leaning into it and then backing away. And honestly, the fun of it, because long story short, I ended up jumping and it was almost like the biggest leap that I've taken that was almost too big. Like there's that moment when you realize that you still haven't hit the water yet, and you're like, oh my God. And it was exhilarating. To like, long story short, it was exhilarating because one, I knew I was gonna jump because I really, really wanted to jump. And even though there was fear that was trying to keep me from not jumping, I was like, well, other people have done it before. It's like, I know the water is safe, it's deep enough. So I know that I can take the step. I can take this leap of faith if I would love to. And if I didn't want to, if I was there and I'm like, next time, that's no problem. Like I can come here again, no problem. I would have been so happy. But there was a part of me that really, really wanted to honor the moreness of life, the fact that I could, even in the face of fear, take that leap. And when I took the leap and I was just like that split second when I'm like, wow, this is I still haven't hit the bottom yet, like I hit the water yet. It was a free fall. I was excited before the free fall. I knew I was gonna jump anyways. That I really, really wanted to jump, even when fear was present with me. And that was a fun part, actually leaping, even though it was scary. And I'm like, ah, and I was like screaming on the way down because there was just a part of me that needed to just release whatever it was that was inside of me. And there was like that wee part where you're like, I'm still falling. And then you hit the bottom. I sunk so low into the pit of this like river, this like water bed, and that my ears almost popped because I was so high and I went down so far. And then it's time to swim back up because I went so low and I was just about to like, it's again almost so low that like almost you're breaking the surface and you know the surface is there, but you got to take the steps to like swim back up to get and break the surface and take another big deep gulp of air. And then the sunshine hit me and I couldn't help but a like a burst of laughter just came out of me because there was this like the fear was over. There was just excitement. I took the leap and there it was, and I hit it and my ears almost popped, and now I'm here and I'm gasping for air because it like almost knocked the wind out of me. And I was just laughing and watching my friend still on the ledge about to take the leap, and my our other friend ended up being in the water with us, and I was so happy for her. And I was happy that we were all swimming together in the water, no matter what way we chose to swim in the water. And as we were both looking up at our other friend on the ledge of the cliff, and he saw me, I took that leap and I was okay. I was laughing actually and having the best time ever because even though I was fearful, I took the leap anyways and I was okay. And honestly, the sense of pride overtook me because I took the leap and I was okay. And it was the biggest leap that I've ever taken in my life. And I was okay. And even though he saw that I was okay, and even though we were cheering him on and we were saying, "You got this, like, look, I did it and I'm okay, like, you can take the leap, you can take the jump, like it really isn't as bad as you think it is." And he's just looking over the ledge and he's kind of backing away and kind of looking over the edge again and saying, "I don't know, like, I don't think I want to take this leap." And do you know what he did? He didn't take the leap. But do you know what is okay about that? The fact that he didn't take the leap. It is okay to not take the leap sometimes. He ended up jumping back in the water. He just found a leap that was a little bit more in his comfort zone. It was still a big leap, but you know what? It just felt too big for him. And he just wanted to honor his fear. He wanted to honor the fact that it's okay to not always take the big leap, even though there will always be other opportunities to take the big leap. And he ended up getting in the water and was swimming around with us and having a great time. And there may have been some longing and discontent to honor that next time he would love to take that big leap. But until then, he took a huge leap anyways, even if it wasn't the same leap that I took. And part of me, when I've been thinking about this, is just, again, the journey of life, that there will always be leaps to take, and there will be opportunities with people or without people to take those leaps. And even if those same people do not take the exact same leap as what you're doing, even if you're the person who doesn't choose to take that huge leap right away, just know that the opportunity, maybe not the same one, or maybe the exact same one, will be there exactly for you when you are ready to take the leap. And even though fear is present, it is so courageous to honor and know that fear is just the border of the life that you have known. And even though fear, we're not trying to get rid of fear. Fear will always be there. Fear is meant to be here as a safety measure in certain cases. Fear is actually not a bad thing, but fear is just the border of the life that you have known. And you are looking over maybe whatever metaphorical cavern cliff that you are looking over and saying, "I really want to take this leap, but I'm scared. And I've never taken this big of a leap before, and I'm scared. And yes, my friends are behind me, but what if I do it first and I'm not okay?" But what if you are okay? And what if you take that leap and you're like screaming on the way down, but then you're laughing anyways because, yes, you're scared, but you're still taking the leap. And then you plummet so hard, and then you have to like swim your way back up and you're gasping for air, but you're laughing because you took that leap and you are okay. And fear was no longer present because you chose to look at fear and say, "Thank you for being a companion. I'm going to take the hand of faith and courage, though, and I'm going to take this leap anyways because this feels like my leap to take." Now, along the same journey that I was taking, and we're going to continue to use the same metaphor of having fun and enjoying the journey of life, was around the same day. I was having very, like, really great thoughts. I find that whenever I'm swimming and in really deep water, I find that I have a lot of peaceful thoughts, a lot of just like content thoughts, and a lot of thoughts that have a lot to do with just life in general. So, I would love to offer you some of my metaphors and just another metaphor in general about just the journey of life and the enjoyment of swimming in the river of life. So I knew that there was a waterfall at the end of this river-ish kind of like waterbed. It wasn't huge, but it was far enough away that I had to swim a pretty good amount in order to reach said waterfall. Now, I'm a very strong swimmer. I've been swimming my entire life and I love doing it. And my capacity, I realized, to swim in deep water, in dark water, in just water in general, is a lot higher than my friends, at least in my own perception. they totally have the capability. It was just their desire, their want, and their own beliefs about their desire and love of swimming in said deep water, said dark water. So even though my friends were not present with me when I started swimming towards the waterfall, I knew they existed. And this journey felt like one that I really, really wanted to take. I wanted to see the waterfall. My goal, my dream, my destination was this waterfall. And at the level of fact, no, my friends were not present with me. And even though I really, really wanted them to be there, I couldn't force them to say, like, okay, now come on, like, put your stuff behind you and just like get your butts moving and let's go to the waterfall. It wasn't for them. And that's okay because I still wanted to honor again my longing and discontent to see the waterfall. Part of me felt like seeing it from afar just wasn't enough. I wanted to be right up close to it. I wanted to see the source of the water that I was swimming in. So off I went and I was swimming, 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 and the water was getting a little colder. It was getting a little darker, just because there was a lot of like overhanging, again, cliffs to get to the waterfall. And as I was going, part of me was like, oh, I'm just really enjoying the fact that like the rocks are changing. I was enjoying the fact that it was jagged rock. I was just like basking in the sun. There was a little bit of like a current, and I was just enjoying myself. And along the way, I got a little bit tired and I was like, well, no problem. I'm like, there's a rock over there. My destination, my goal, my dream is still the waterfall. I'm just going to take a little break and I want to just like swim over onto the side. So even though it wasn't a direct path to the waterfall, I just kind of skirted off to the side a little bit, knowing that I'm still on the path to the waterfall. And I was just enjoying, climbed up on the rocks, and then I ended up just like smiling to myself and just taking my time. And I ended up like leaping off of another cliff that I didn't even know was there, just for the shits and giggles of it. It was just really fun for me because the act of jumping off something into the water just felt like something I really wanted to do. I was enjoying just jumping, like leaping off and then jumping in, swimming, swimming, and then climbing back up and leaping off again because it became more comfortable for me to do so. And then I was like, you know what? I'm ready to get back and like swim more directly, a clear streamlined path to the waterfall. And I'd go and I'd go and I'd go. And I'm like, you know what? Getting a little tired. I think I'd love to take a rest. So I was keep going, and then I found another rock. And even though I knew and this point I could just barely see the waterfall, like it was there, I could hear it, it was loud, like there was no mistaking that I was even closer to the waterfall. Like my sight, I was vision, like I could see the corner of it, I could hear it, even though I couldn't see all of it, I could hear it with, and I just knew that it was there. And I felt it with my body, like the current was picking up, like I could feel it in my body that I was getting closer and closer and closer. But I was still tired and I was like, okay, no problem. Like, let's take a rest. So again, I found a little rock and I was just hanging out. And again, I wanted to leap off it. And it was just like the enjoyment of, again, just leaping off of a rock. And then I said, okay, I am so close. Like, this is the moment. Like, I'm going to get to that waterfall. And I did. As I was swimming and as I was swimming, the current picked up. I was getting closer to the source of this thing. And man, like I was working harder to get to it. And once I crested over this corner, it was full force in front of me. Like I could see it a little bit of ways away from it, but it was right in front of me. And I was in awe of it. It was just, it was powerful. It was moving so fast. And it was in this kind of alcove that was just rushing with beautiful, beautiful water. And there was a part of me that wanted to get to it dead on. And I realized if I kept coming at it dead on, man, it was just like, it was so hard for me to actually get there. It was just like the waterfall, like this powerful, powerful source of water kept pushing me back. And then I'd swim as hard as I could and I'd get up to it and then push me back. And I said, like, a light bulb went off in my head and I was like, what if I could get to the waterfall, but around the corner? Because there's a part where like if I can't come at it dead on, it's like I'm just gonna waste so much energy when I could just go around and I could just like use the rocks, like use the tools around me to get to the waterfalls close as I want to go. But I could propel myself off the rock with using my feet. I didn't have to use my hands anymore, my arms, my shoulders, and I could just like scale. I could use the water that was already pushing and use it to push up and use the water in my favor as opposed to going against it. And I could use it to lift me up, and I could use the rocks to scramble around the side. I could find rocks that could actually lift me up and out of the water, and I could just walk along the side and get as close as I wanted to go. And I realized the entire time when I was there, I was looking, I did it. I achieved my dream of seeing the waterfall. I got, like, my goal was to see it. My dream was to see it and be a part of it. I wanted to just be so immersed in the source of this water that even though I was alone, I was again laughing. I was enjoying myself. I was enjoying the hard work it took to get there. I was enjoying the fact that there's a part of me that lost my balance and I'd fall back into the water, and I would laugh because it was just the fact that I was still there. I was like, I'd never left the water. I never left my goal. It was just that sometimes it was a little bit scrambly and sometimes it was a little bit harder, but there was always tools around me to help get me even closer and even closer and even closer to where I wanted to be. And then there was a part of me that just wanted to bask that I got there. Goal achieved. Check that off. And then there was a part of me that was like, now what? I did it. I'm here. There's the waterfall. And then I just wanted to bask in the fact that it took me all by myself, all the way from where I knew my friends were still there, still present. If I wanted to go back, I could. If I wanted to just stay here and revel in the fact that I did it. I got to the source. I did it. I used my own strength and my own wits about me, and I did it. But the entire time, I realized it was never about actually getting to the falls. The falls was, of course, like, I was so happy and proud of myself for getting to the falls and so grateful that it existed, that this whole river existed for me to play in, that it carved its way through this bed, that I could just feel the force, the sheer magnitude of being by the waterfall. I just kind of let myself go, and I was watching and I was feeling the force of it, and I was just letting it take me. And then eventually I was like, I'm done. And I just let the river guide me back. I leapt into it, and then the force pulled me back. And instead of just like swimming against it, I just let it take me. I just flowed in the river stream that I was in, knowing my friends were there, knowing I'm gonna go swim back to them. And then I kept hearing it, and slowly, distantly, it just like fell behind me. And I just kept going, and I was still smiling, saying, I did it. I did it. One, even though I wanted my friends to be there, that's okay, because this place is not going anywhere. If I wanted to come back and take this journey again with people who would love to see the waterfall and swim to the waterfall with me, man, it would be so easy. I'd totally find other people who would be my partners in believing, to jump into the river, to show them and watch them jump off and take these leaps of faith off these cliffs, to show them and say, I know this really great waterfall that I'd love to show you. Would you like to swim there with me? And they could say yes, or they could say no, but it's okay that these particular friends didn't want to take the journey with me, but I still did it on my own. And now I feel a little bit actually more comfortable driving to this place myself, taking other friends who would want to see this place with me, and maybe going to the waterfall with them. And even if they didn't, I know there's more people, but even if they didn't, sometimes it's just taking the journey alone and feeling the pride and satisfaction in knowing that I did it anyways, that was really the most worthwhile. But even then, it was just the idea that I was able to be in the water, that someone showed me that there was this really beautiful particular stream of water that I could go and play in with them. That, man, I'm so happy and grateful that it's a beautiful day. I'm so happy and grateful that I have a strong body to take me there. I'm so happy and grateful that I have friends who had the inspiration to take me there. I'm so happy and grateful that it rained the other day so that it created such a beautiful, thick, rich, abundant amount of water that I could play in. And I'm so happy and grateful that there will be even more times to jump and play and frolic and bask and luxuriate in this particular place. But even if it's not this particular river, I know that there's actually more places to go. And I know that there are more rivers and streams and creeks and waterbeds to play in. There's a whole ocean literally in my backyard. And if I wanted to go and play there, I can. And that the source of this water isn't actually the source of everything, that there's more and there's more and there's more. But this particular place, this particular time in my life, this particular area that I'm in, because I happen to live nearby it, I have access to it. And I'm so happy and grateful that I do have access to it. And so, as I was reflecting back, and if this inspires you to take your own leaps of faith, to maybe get even more grateful with the places that you are in, but even on the journey that you are on right now, you have a goal, you have a dream, you have longing and discontent, and you are being led there. You're being guided towards this goal, this dream. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, that having a very distinct goal and dream for your life is important so you know that you have a place to go. For me, if I didn't realize that the water was there and I didn't have this longing and content or discontent to actually get to the waterfall, I never would have been able to know the path. But even along the path, if you're kind of on the path, off the path, what if, even if you were resting, what if you were even taking breaks and doing other things? What if you were just always on the path? And what if you knew that you really, really wanted to get to this goal, this dream, this vision you see in your head of where you want to be? What if when you're there, you're having the best time, but what if it wasn't actually the goal or dream that you really, really wanted, but it was just the enjoyment of being on that particular path to get you there? And what if it was who you became? Because it's who you're becoming while you're taking this journey, while you're on this path. And enjoyment is actually one of the most highest frequencies that you can be on, because the universe, spirit, God, source, love, light, whatever you'd love to call it, revels and rejoices in the fact that you're just enjoying the ride. That yes, there are going to be places that you can leap off, and while you're on that journey, you're going to maybe want to leap off of these huge cliffs and take huge leaps of faith. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to keep swimming. Maybe there'll be tiny ones that you want to jump off of, or maybe you just want to bask. But no matter what, and no matter where you're at in life, I would love to offer that the enjoyment of the ride is the best thing that you can take. And I know people are like, stop and smell the roses, just enjoy the journey. It's not actually the end destination, who you're becoming. And it's true. I would actually take even more stock in all of the cliches, because I believe that cliches always have something to them when a lot of people know it. But I think honor the fact that these cliches exist, that there are people like, stop and smell the roses. Smell them. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy it. Because one day, as I said in the last video, one day you're going to lay your head down for the very last time. And that's okay, because we're all going to lay our head down on our pillow for the very last time eventually. And yes, we have goals, and yes, we have dreams, and yes, we have longings and discontent. And it is beautiful to reach those. And that's part of what I'm doing here, is helping people, helping you reach your goals and dreams. And so if you guys would love to have even more knowledge, even more structure and foundation, check out my other videos, because they offer a lot of clear guidance, mental faculties that you can utilize, powerful action steps that you can take, and the way that you can harness all of the gifts that you've been given on this life. And even then, I would love to offer, if anything today, is to take time and know that your goal and your vision You will always be on the path, even when it doesn't actually look like it. Even when you're stopping and you're basking, even if you're going off track or what you think is off track and you're leaping off, but then you're like, okay, no, I want to get back straight into it. You don't have to go hard at it all the time. You can go around. There are other ways to get to your goal, your dream, your vision, what you would love to see in your life. And the entire time that you are actually on it, there's no getting off of the train of life. It's just wherever you'd love to be. So, for those of you who are having an amazing day, continue to have an amazing day. For those of you who may not be having an amazing day at the level of fact, here's me sending you positive vibes and it becomes even better for you. And for those of you who would love to join me, I'm actually creating a beautiful, beautiful dream building course through the Life Mastery Consultant certification that I am doing currently. So for those of you who would actually love me to help you guide and secure you on your path for making your vision come to life, for making your dreams come to life, and having someone who can help guide you and handhold you the entire way and just be able to offer you tools, I would love to add you to my wait list. And before then, schedule a one-on-one vision ignition session. This is where I help you, if you're not already clear with your vision, become clear with your vision, to help you say everything that you would love in your life and then take it to the next level. And so for those of you who would love to reach out and have me as your coach, you can message me at perfectlypowerfullyu@gmail.com in order to start that journey together. And until then, I trust, hope, and expect that you all have an amazing day, and I look forward to talking with you all real soon. Thank you all for joining me today, because it is my absolute pleasure to be here with you. I have some very exciting news to offer that will help take your evolution of self to the next level. I'm certifying myself as a life mastery consultant and offering a dream building program in the coming months. For those of you that are ready to live the life you have always loved and wake up every day to say, wow, I love my life, I'm offering a free one-on-one vision coaching session to give you a sneak peek at what is in store for you. I'm also creating a wait list for those of you big dreamers that are ready to up-level your life with me guiding you the entire time. If this sounds like a heck yes, I have the email perfectlypowerfullyu@gmail.com that will also be linked in the description box below to book a session and get started. Until then, I trust, hope, and expect that you all have an amazing day. May your day be filled with only love and light, and I look forward to talking with you all and seeing you all very soon.